Every day, WNYC is working to get closer to New York and to New Yorkers. The underwriting we get from businesses helps power our independence. Learn how your organization can join in at sponsorship.wnyc.org.
My name is Janae Pierre. New York is one of the most complicated cities in the world. It's my job to help you make sense of it all. 3 times a week, I'll take you behind the headlines for a deeper look at the news and what makes New York, New York, on NYC Now. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from WNYC and Gothamist, wherever you get your podcasts.
On the next Radio Lab.
What is a year of life worth?
Wow, what a question.
That's deep. $10 million for a year?
Are we willing to pay $1,000 for an extra day of life?
Boy, that's a complicated question.
Well, what about $100,000 for an extra day of life?
Life is worth it, whatever it takes. But whatever it takes will not cure my cancer.
Worth. That's in the next Radio Lab.
Tonight at 9 on WNYC.
Marketplace Morning Report is coming up next, and then in 10 minutes at 9 o'clock, it's the BBC NewsHour on WNYC. Let's check in with London and see what they're working on. Hello, London.
Good morning, WNYC. I'm Regina Vaidyanathan on today's NewsHour. Israel's once again expanding its military campaign in Lebanon. And the prehistoric paintings, which were once dismissed as stripy rock. That's NewsHour coming up at 9 on WNYC.
Mid-60s on this Monday. We do have some sunshine in the big city, and then slim chance of some scattered showers this afternoon. Becoming a sunny day with a high temperature near 74 degrees. Calm wind. Tomorrow sunny and 77. Wednesday warming up to the low 80s with sunshine. Then by the end of the week, it'll be 92 degrees. It's 8:52.
The dollar store economy.
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by Amazon Business. Amazon Business offers smart business buying, which uses AI-driven tools to perform time-consuming procurement tasks, helping to simplify complex processes and streamline workflows. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com. And by Schwab. At Schwab, investors get choices ranging from self-directed investing to full-service wealth management all in one place. Learn more at schwab.com.
From Marketplace, I'm Nancy Marshall-Genzer in Washington. Dollar General reports earnings tomorrow. The company's stock already jumped last week after one of its rivals, the Dollar Tree, reported a great first quarter. Its comparable store sales were up 3.5%. This hints at a growing consumer demand for deals. So we asked Marketplace's Stephanie Hughes to check in on the dollar store ecosystem.
Dana Kenlin has been in the market for some travel-sized toiletry bottles. She could have got them at the drugstore that's 20 feet from her house. But instead, she went out of her way to drive to this Dollar Tree in East Baltimore. And you looked up the prices for both of these before you came in?
Actually, I did. I get paid Friday, so I'm trying to just limit the things that I buy until Friday.
Kenlin works as a security officer. She's also a single mom who keeps to a pretty strict budget. And she says shopping here helps.
I just feel relieved. I guess more so like I'm not really overspending on certain things.
Another advantage to dollar stores, they're usually close to where people live, says Bloomberg intelligence analyst Jennifer Bartashis.
And so it's a very easy, quick place for people to stop and pick up a few essentials without having to drive a long distance.
Which is particularly attractive right now with elevated gas prices. Bartashis says dollar stores now offer a bigger assortment of items. Think craft supplies, tools, graduation balloons. And they're also pulling in higher income consumers looking for deals.
And so the question will be for these chains going forward, how do they hang on to those higher income households who have the capacity to spend more when they're in the stores?
And how do they get those big spenders to pop in more often? In Baltimore, I'm Stephanie Hughes for Marketplace.
Let's do the numbers. Markets are set to start June in positive territory as investors continue piling into tech stocks. The Dow, S&P, and NASDAQ futures are all up in the 0.2% range, with the Dow future up 128 points. The 10-year Treasury yield is down at 4.45%. Later this week, we'll get the government's big hiring and unemployment reports, a key read on how the economy is holding up as oil markets remain unsettled. Speaking of oil, prices are up sharply this morning. International Brent crude is trading at $93 a barrel. West Texas Intermediate, the U.S. benchmark, is almost at $90 a barrel.
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by Progressive Insurance. On the road and at home, customers can simplify their insurance needs and protect what's important by bundling home and auto with Progressive Insurance. Learn more about Progressive and bundling at Progressive.com. And by GEP, advancing autonomous procurement and supply chains with the AI-native GEP Quantum Intelligence software platform. And by Intuit QuickBooks, integrating payroll, time tracking, human resources, and more in one connected system. More at quickbooks.com/workforce.
States are moving quickly to roll out their own AI laws. According to the National Conference of State Legislatures, a third of the states have enacted 127 laws regulating AI. The rapid growth of state AI laws comes as Congress debates whether federal rules should override state regulations. A new project called Mapping AI is trying to track the organizations, policymakers, and public figures shaping AI policy. Anushree Chaudhry is a doctoral candidate at the University of Cambridge. Sophia Wang is a research associate at Outliers Fund, a venture capital firm. They're the co-leads of Mapping AI, and they join us now. Welcome.
Morning. Good morning, Nancy.
Can you explain how this works, Sophia?
You can actually view around 1,800 different people and organizations that we believe are shaping the conversation about U.S. AI policy today. And so you can click around and actually be able to look at their regulatory stance, their AGI timeline, so when they expect artificial general intelligence to arrive, as well as their funding model and the types of people and organizations they're connected to. And so we're trying to track really the structure of the entire ecosystem.
Anushree, what are some of the insights that you've gleaned from this? I mean, where have you seen, tensions or disagreements over AI policy?
Yeah, definitely. I think often we try to view the left and right on an issue like AI as the right, maybe wanting to accelerate the development of this technology and the left wanting to restrict it. But actually, there's a lot more issue-specific agreement on things like chip export controls. So a lot of people want to restrict exporting a lot of the hardware that goes into making these AI systems possible to China. Almost everyone across the aisle agrees that there should be some kind of liability for developers, companies that make a model that causes some kind of harm that could be for child safety, mental health, misinformation. And then some pretty big areas of disagreement, I think, federal preemption of local regulation that's trying to pause or restrict AI development is pretty deeply bipartisan issue.
I'm curious about why you decided to launch this huge project in your spare time, I suppose.
I do think a lot of people our age and just in general are feeling a huge lack of agency in understanding how to navigate something that's changing so quickly. So this tool was actually our way of bringing agency into understanding the space as a starting point to see what points of leverage there are in how both we can contribute and maybe get the public more involved.
I can relate to that feeling of a lack of control. Sophia, what about you? What led you to do this in your spare time?
AI is this kind of like rapidly evolving technology that's starting to collide with almost every other technological domain. And I see this very actively in the space industry where I have formal background and also just in market trends. And our way of making an impact in this space is trying to create a transparency tool. We see this as kind of an opportunity for the public to get involved, even if they are not sort of in Silicon Valley themselves developing these models. They have really important feedback to give.
Anushree Chaudhry and Sophia Wang are the co-leads on Mapping AI, a project designed to track who's influencing artificial intelligence. Thank you both.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
In Washington, I'm Nancy Marshall-Genzer with the Marketplace Morning Report from APM, American Public Media.